Hello, good morning, America. My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an Americanteer. Today is August the 28th, 2019. I'm at the park again, beautiful day. The last time we spoke, I talked a lot about how to stop hate. And since that last talk on August 18th, I think, I've had some time to ponder, and it seems to be really just right on cue. The subject of hate kind of ties in with a lot of current issues, and to stop hate and haters, it's going to be a uphill battle for a lot of people who are against it. A lot of people are for it too, in a silent kind of way. So that's what makes it so tough. Around America, people like to talk about more about hate than they probably want to talk about love. Which is unfortunate. And if it is love, it's only a one-sided love. So it's not really even an unconditional love for all Americans. It's just a love for certain people and certain Americans, certain social class that they love, and everybody else is pretty much, we don't mean the whole world. We are literally in this together. And for you to think that we're not together on this as Americans is, I don't know what you're thinking or where that's coming from. And if you think America, or you can only stick to your one tribe, and that is what you consider to be an American, and you're really off. You're not in touch with the reality either. So, and see, the thing is I'm saying these things, but these are things we already know about ourselves. So I don't think I'm really saying anything new to a lot of people. If anything, I might be striking a nerve with some kind of truth, and people are gonna dislike me for that. No one wants to hear the truth or hear anything that has anything to do with being a liar or being a manipulator or being a deceiver. You'll see them kind of just pivot and slowly edge their way out of that conversation, because they're probably the ones that are doing the most damage, and who can't come clean or don't even know how to talk about that, since they're secretly are the ones that are spreading the hate. So we got to beware. We got to be on our toes if we're going to be people if we're going to want to spread the love. It takes a whole different higher road, a road of principles and values, ethics, and just doing the right thing, whether people are paying attention or not. We just do the right thing, period. It doesn't really matter. Even if you don't think you're going to get caught, don't do it. If it's wrong, just don't do it. It's just not worth it. I often wonder, how does this even happen? How do haters really spread hate? How does that really happen? It seems like it's pretty easy for haters, because they like to, they're very dishonest people, so they're pretty much are looking for attention for themselves and trying to steal it from others. They believe that they're entitled, believe that they're privileged. They use, and I already said this in the last video, but they use intimidation, fear, the fact that they won't be your buddy or friend anymore if you like certain people or do certain things with certain people. It's just, it's a lot of people, a lot of Americans, and maybe even me, are just taking such a strong one-sided perspective and one-sided view. So to give you a good example, with my life was more of a couple of years ago. I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and as we were leaving her apartment, getting into her car, I'm also friends with one of her neighbors. I see the neighbor in the parking lot as we're getting in the car, and I say hello, and the neighbor says hello, and we exchange waves, and that was pretty much it. It was just like, hey, how you doing? Hello, and moving on, and get in the car, and we drive off. But within 30 seconds of getting in the car with my friend, she informed me that her and that particular neighbor did not get along, and therefore she started reprimanding me for being nice, pretty much, just being polite. And I have nothing against this person, and this person I'm sure has nothing against me. It's just somehow a third party is now influencing the whole love movement and turning it into their self-hate movement. So basically she was kind of reprimanding me, letting me know that either I'm with her or against her. Like, if I'm going to be her friend, then I can't be polite and nice to her neighbor. I got to be just as mean. And I couldn't believe that I was even hearing this from someone, nor it was kind of like, why would you want to put me in that position? You know, why would you want to put your friend in that position saying, well, you're either, if you're going to be friends with somebody, then you can't be my friend anymore because I hate that person so much that I can't stand the fact that we share friends or we have mutual acquaintances, and everybody's got to be on my side to as far as hating this person, so this person knows the power of my hate, I guess. That is so absurd, so stupid, and very, very, very wrong. And I don't even know where people, as Americans, think we're so privileged and so cool or so hip and so, superior that we will want to intimidate and reprimand and go after friends for reacting and doing other just polite, friendly things to other people. That is that is where America has been and where it's going, and I think I've been on that wagon saying the same thing for the last 8 years now, and it's becoming more and more apparent that that's what's going on, and so I can't tell people what to do with free will. However, I can try to encourage you and inspire you to do the right thing. Don't buy into it. Be you. Be nice. Be polite. And if your friends don't like that, then they're not really your friends. If they're going to unfriend you or reprimand you for not being part of their hate wagon and hating someone just because they hate someone and they're trying to spread hate, it's just, don't do it. And I know it sounds easier said than done, because a lot of people, we're just too, we live in a world of fear and a world of who and how people are going to judge whom off. So then we get, it turns it around to where we're starting to be like very self-absorbed, and we don't do anything at all except just go with it and allow the haters to continue on with their hate movement and not do anything about it any way, shape, or form, except for just people just try to get away from the situation and escape it, ignore it, and actually hurt other people in their own indirect way, even though they don't mean to, but hurt others because they're too scared and intimidated to face peers and colleagues. And so it's really an individual lack of courage, okay? And I hate to throw that out there because it's really, I'm not trying to say you lack courage or we lack courage, but it does take courage. I mean, anything with principles, morals, ethics, stand up for those issues takes courage. And people maybe think it does, and they just think, oh, it's just mouthing off words, and it isn't. I mean, you got to learn how to spread love. Even though no one wants to talk about love or help encourage love or inspire love, I really truly believe that's the answer, is that we can really resolve a lot of our issues with love instead of with hate. So if you're waking up and trying to spread hate, then you're probably a pretty unhappy and miserable individual who's walking around with a smile, trying to passively aggressively mess with other people. And you're not fooling anyone, you're fooling yourself only, you're not fooling anybody else around you. You're wasting your time, effort, and energy on a life experience of daily moments. And I believe that taking monetary moments and turn them into magical moments, it really isn't that far of a stretch. Well, at least not for me. And maybe it takes a little creative imagination to do that, but it's really not a difficult process to turn a mundane moment into a magical moment, and to switch over into happiness and to switch over into love. It really isn't that difficult. To me, even sometimes for me, even seems like a leap or a hurdle I have to climb over. But once I start to engage with resolving love and talk about love, it really is easier to do than try to manipulate or deceive or remain silent and allow hate to take over and overrun your life, my life, and everyone else's life. Well, that was fun. On the swing set. Well, Americanteers, thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to me. I'm always open for input. You can always email me, call me. There's ways to get in touch with me. It's really easy, and let me know what you think, where you're at. If you have an opinion, or if you want to share something with me that you think that might be healthy for the Americanteer movement. And again, the Americanteer movement is not a lot of things that you may think it is, because we're not part of the Democratic movement or the Republican Party. So we are actually just a third choice, a third opinion, a third common sense America that's coming into the scene. And I could use your support in this. We're not up against anyone. The only real challenge, what I'm saying is, that's what I mean. I'm not challenging Washington. What I'm doing is I'm challenging Americans to join me and to be a part of real change, instead of us working away and on a broken system, in a broken system that's going to continue to be broken. We can change all that only as Americans, though, not because we are part of a party or because we believe in certain politicians. It's really, that is not a solution. That is kind of an illusion of sorts, a grand illusion on Americans, thinking that we are making a difference, and we're really not. Politicians, that's why they allow us to stay on our bandwagons. Same with corporations and technology companies and everybody else that's taken advantage of America is hoping that we do. We pay attention, we become distracted with other things other than what's really affecting us, and that is rude people, mean people in the workplace, passive-aggressive drivers, and it's just everywhere we go and everywhere we turn. There's always a sense of a social discrimination, or we are the people promoting it, and throwing this sense of discrimination out there before even giving it a chance. We're making up our minds within a split second that we don't want anything to do with this person because we don't think they measure up to our social standards. And so we make a quick discrimination. That is a very unhealthy way of thinking. We need to stop that as Americans and start to look at each other eye to eye and say hello, smile. We're in this together. We are literally, really in this together. I can't emphasize that.